Hello everyone and welcome to my handstand tutorial. This is years of practice combined into a 5 minutes video, so you will obviously not be able to understand what I understood, but I will try my best to give you the tips that basically made me achieve the handstand. Why should you listen to me for the handstand? I was taught this skill at the circus school at the age of 12. Being a teenager, I did not train specifically for the handstand because I was more involved with the backflip. Nonetheless, I still wanted to achieve the handstand. At the age of 17, after years of no real dedication of this skill, I decided it was time I wanted to learn the handstand and told myself, let's do it now. So from then, every day I did around five handstands. Some were good, some were bad, some were really bad. And some days I didn't even do any. But I kept going because I knew consistency was the key. I knew I had the strength and all the knowledge, I just needed to put the time in. After 2 weeks, I could hold a few second handstands, and it all started from there. Now I can hold a decent 1 minute plus handstand on demand. So, the handstand is a skill, and like all skills, it requires a certain amount of strength. If you do not have the amount of strength necessary, you will not be able to perform this skill no matter how hard you try. So, to get the required amount of strength, I would suggest learning on the wall. Once you have the required amount of strength to do the handstand, I would suggest starting with the tuck handstand because it's much more easy than to kick up with the legs first. And for the tuck handstand, I've divided it into 4 parts. So the first part is pushing the ground, so engaging the shoulders properly. Second is engaging your core tight properly so you don't move around. Third one is to have your center of gravity right in between your hands, so at the middle. You don't want to be too much on the fingers or too much resting on the palms. And then it will be to kick up and to find the balance. I would suggest 8 times out of 10 really to be comfortable and to progress to the handstand. So for me, the most important part of the handstand is engaging your shoulders and pushing properly as if you are trying to lift the earth up. You can see here I'm resting on my shoulders, and just in a second I'm pushing. This is the position you want to be in, as it will straighten your body. Here you can see what my shoulders are actually doing in the handstand position. Next we have the core. To have a tight core will reduce your pelvic moving in different places. It will help it to stay in place and therefore to hold your handstand easier. In this short video you can see my pelvic moving backwards and forwards and to the sides. That is not what you want. Here my abs are not tight. Now for the center of gravity, you can see with the little dot here that I've placed where you want the center of gravity to be. You don't want to be too much resting on the palms because that will just make you fall backwards. And if you're too much on your fingers, you will fall forwards. So, once you can find balance in a tuck handstand, 8 times out of 10 for a few seconds, I would move on to the handstand. And I've cut out this section into a few parts also. So, first one is kicking your legs up. So either in a tuck, spreading your legs open, or going into the handstand fully extended. Then we have pointing the toes to the sky. So that's just keeping straight. That's the same as pushing with the shoulders, except with the feet. Then we have squeezing the glutes, because without strong glutes, your legs are just going to go flying wherever. And then the final step is to find balance with the legs, so how to move your legs to keep your balance. 2 ways to do kick up: the tuck, like so, which is for me the easiest one, as you've already learned to place your pelvic in a tuck, and then you just need to open your legs basically. It's much more easier than this one with the straight legs and kicking up, because this one you have to hold your legs and pelvic at the same time. Now for the feet, pointing the feet, this is what I mean. You really need to point them as far away as possible. Now here, this is what I mean when I say squeeze the glutes. Here you saw me, I didn't squeeze the glutes at all and my legs went flying. Here, my glute is tight, and as soon as I go down, I release my glutes and my legs fall. Then we have playing around with the legs for balance. So this just goes without saying, just move your legs around horizontally in the front of you or at the side, and just play around in the positions you like. So I think this is all my knowledge on the handstand. What really made me achieve it was pushing the floor, almost like you're trying to lift the earth up, and pointing my toes. So the best way I would say it is trying to touch the sky with my toes. I'm really pleased that I was able to learn this skill. You know, it's a dream of mine since a little kid, and to this day I can still remember my teacher saying, point your toes, keep your glute tight, you know, push the ground and stuff like that. And I'm just really appreciative of the teaching that I had before. Always remember, we are all human, all different, so what might work for someone might not work for you. Just keep that in mind. Always listen to yourself. Guys, this was Moan the Footstoner for the handstand tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you were able to learn something from it. See you in the next one. Peace out.